next thing I know, I'm falling back into darkness. Where the hell am I now? What is this place? Guys, where are we? Hey, what's up you guys? It's me, Gatformacy. Welcome back to another episode of The Letter. Now, I know last time we went far with Marianne and things got a little too heated too fast. We're going to continue and see where she heads off to. We got to see her friend from school who committed suicide, I guess. So I guess we're going to continue after that. And we had a little bit of an intimate moment with Miss Hannah. But anyways, guys, without further ado, Gatformacy with The Letter, part Infinity. I really want to finish this. I think the next game I want to finish after The Letter will be Doom 3. Then I think I'll try Aria. I think we'll do Doom 3 Aria same time. And then we'll do the newest Doom before Doom Eternal comes out. So anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get right in it. See you guys at the end of the video. So this is where we left off, talking to old douchebag over here. So let's get in. I got some juice to refresh my throat because this is a lot of reading. Because it's a click play reading game, like a horror story. So my throat needs to be refreshed. I hardly see any emotion on his face to begin with since I started working for the Wrights, aside from vague amusement. There must have been something there though, judging from Mr. Wright's own content look. The expression on Mr. Wright's face is almost cruel. But neither of them spoke, even as Johans leaves the room to serve the workers their late lunch.
So, now that we're alone, Marianne, what are you so jumpy for?
I don't like you. I get nervous when I'm around you. Why? Because you're married!
I was just thinking about all the urban legends the movers have been telling me about this place.
Don't tell me you believe in that tosh. They're nothing but tales made up to scare children.
Alright.
Timmy, Billy, don't you dare go up to that big mansion and get in trouble there! The ghosts are going to get you!
That was terrible.
That's a boring way to look at it, but that's usually what it is anyway, no?
Yeah,
like I said, I was just thinking.
It would be a relief actually if those rumors of this place being haunted is true. That just means I'm not going bonkers. Hearing, let alone seeing, a dead person isn't exactly the symptoms of a healthy mind. Sure, it means there would be such things such as ghouls and goblins, but at least I'd be sane. On the other hand, there would actually be a dead girl walking around.
If you could excuse the inane question, Mr. Wright, you haven't noticed anything weird here?
A simple enough question on the surface, yet I noticed the man stiffen as the question leaves my mouth. I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't watching his reaction intently, but in his eyes I see something dangerous.
That depends on your definition of the word weird. Are we still on the topic of this place being haunted?
I would say so.
Because no, things have not started to fly around and we have yet to require an exorcism. I don't think my head would like to do the whole 180-degree turn thing.
Well, maybe that, but no strange people?
Aside from my usually weird butler and all the weird men traipsing around touching my things? No, not really.
What do you mean by touching your things?
Why do you ask? Have you noticed anyone strange while you were here? Because you must report it to Johans and he'll have security handle it. But these reports better not be about ghosts and things that go bump in the night. I don't want to waste manpower on the boogeyman or senseless witch hunts.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Wright. But no, it's nothing like that. I guess the mansion is just strange for me. It's a unique project.
No strange men or women lurking about then?
Dead teenager would technically qualify as strange. But yeah, the whole I see dead people thing isn't going to go over well.
None that I know of. But I'll inform Johans immediately if something comes up.
Righto, the next time I see the ghost of my former friend slash maybe lover all bloody and jumping off the cliff, then I will definitely call your aunts.
I'm serious, Mint. You see anything,
Could we
anyone
stop with
suspicious,
that?
and you report it.
There was
immediately.
it was one time, bruh.
I think that goes without saying.
The concern he has on the talk of security is quickly gone. I might be bad at English, but damn, that's a typo. His arrogant smug smoke returns, if a bit subdued. Whatever smarmy remark or see, now I'm fucking up now. Innuendo he has at the ready never comes though, as voices from the dining hall ring out.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly.
Oh, it's what's his name?
So you can't really call it
It's
a
my
full-time
main
job.
man.
It's fun
The-
and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do.
Wow. And I want to know if you really died.
At least not all the time.
That would be the magazine photographer, I presume. As always, Mrs. Wright talks in such a kind and cheery fashion, no matter who she's talking with. It certainly puts people at ease around her. It sounds like it's working on the photographer too. Hearing them, though, seems to put Mr. Wright in a sour mood. At least if his small scowl is anything to go by. Is he jealous? Ask if he's alright, try to lighten the mood. Try to lighten the mood?
You're not gonna go out there and join Mrs. Wright?
I'm very bad at choices.
You're starting to look strained. If you want your picture taken so badly, I'm sure the photographer would oblige.
What is it that you want to do then?
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on the thing, actually.
We need to get you away from the butler. You're starting to sound like him.
Did I make a shitty decision again? I'm sorry, I tend to do that.
No, I'm not joining Hana for an interior design magazine photo. What am I? A piece of furniture?
Do you want my honest opinion? I won't give it to you. Don't deserve
Look,
it.
did a lot of you have anything else crucial to do today? Marianne.
At least it wasn't Mint. It was one time, bruh. Get over it.
There are still some little things to do. It isn't the end of the day yet.
Exactly.
Yes, but you're paid hourly, aren't you? Per day?
Excuse me, I am a human being, you sack of shit. You know what? I'm not even
Really,
gonna...
I don't
I'm
care.
not even gonna
You can
bother.
just take off for the day.
I will do so. You know what? Why is he dismissing us early all of a sudden? Is this about the possible security threat? Did my question get him all wary and paranoid that he would just send the workers and I away? I realize that threats are of actual concern to these rich and powerful people. I imagine whether anyone wants to or not, they get a few enemies here and there. But I'm sure the foreman and his works can be trusted and are of no threat. Well, at least I trust the people I'm working with. I understand if he doesn't. He doesn't know them from a can of paint. Still, won't it be safer if there are people around who can watch their back?
You're the boss. My being paid by the day aside, I won't be held responsible for any significant delay caused by your decisions. I'll try to get around that, of course, but I'll just remind you of the fact.
Yeah.
Whatever. Take forever with the house. I don't give a bloody damn.
I shall do so, and you will pay me daily, hourly, minutely if I want.
Don't you worry, you're still getting your money. Just sod off. Go crawl around a pub and find yourself a good lay.
Ah, so you were meant to smite me with that one, huh? You're the one who's married. You know what? I'm not even going to strain myself over it. You are a sack of shit and you should know that. Paranoid or aggravated as he might be, this conversation certainly didn't have to warrant that sort of remark.
Maybe I will.
Maybe I will. What is it to you, bruh? Out of the kitchen, I just accept the fact that whatever he says will go while under his roof. Yeah. Oh, it's my guy! It's Zach! My main man, my bruh, Zach. My thoughts are out to you, please. I hope he's not dead. Please don't let him be dead. My thoughts go out to you, bro. My thoughts go out to you. Mrs. Wright and the photographer, Zach, are still far too busy in conversation to notice me, even as I make my way through the dining hall. Besides, I didn't want to ruin their fun.
Well, it wasn't really a big thing.
Pause on that one.
People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
That was when they were connecting and then I fucked it up. Going to the foyer has me stumble upon the family butler once more, who raises a brow at my presence.
And where are you off to in a hurry, Miss McCulloch? The foreman is looking for you.
The Bratwurst wants us off the clock. He's dismissing us early because of... Oh, I don't know. He just wants us out of here.
I'll go and call a cab for you then. It would be for the best that you leave when he asks you to.
I assume that. I don't doubt it. Right, let's go back home. Nighttime! I don't trust this mansion at nighttime, bruh. Let's continue. My ride back to the city doesn't take too long to get here. Granted, there were some difficulties at first, because the driver didn't know where the Ermengarde mansion is. He tried to have us hand over GPS coordinates from our smartphones, or some other techno-babble I didn't care about, and the butler didn't understand. But as soon as we told him it's that haunted mansion over in Anselm Village, he knew just the place. And finally headed over, albeit with some hesitation. All the way back to the city, the driver keeps complaining about that place giving him the willies. It gives me willies too. I would have loved to snap at him. But as soon as the thought occurs to me, another blossoms in the forefront of my mind. One that has somehow bothered me greatly, more than my exasperation over Whiskey and his project, or wanting all of it to stop. There has been no Lorraine whispering over my ears today. Worse, I find myself searching for it. I knew it! I knew she was going to keep doing the project because of her, because she wants to talk to her more and find out why all of a sudden she's haunting her. But I get the feeling it's not really Lorraine. It's the ghost taking what she can see or know about Lorraine from Marianne's mind and twisting it. That's what she's doing. So it's not really Lorraine. Searching for her. Okay, Dimina or T, or I don't know. You guys try and say it. Loose ends. Fucking bloody loose ends everywhere. I thought I've already moved past this years ago. And it does nothing to help me curb my frustration. If anything, it only ensures that I want a stiff drink. Let's go get one. And where else do I go to drink? Tuesdays are for karaoke and Wednesdays improv. Usually it's these four guys who did hilarious games. The one with Irish drinking songs are always a crowd favorite. Though I love a good laugh, stand-up comedy isn't my thing. And without Cam or Haruna or any other distractions, I end up drinking a lot more this time. And when there's several bottles of beer in me, I get really, really embarrassing.
Hey! G! Psst! G! Come over here!
Oh my god.
I need you for something.
Oh Jesus, no please. Are we really doing this? Okay, let's do it, guys. It's a good thing that the bartender is a nice fellow. I'd probably have been kicked out of other places by now or worse. If push comes to shove, all he would do is give me an easy smile and a shake of his head, even when he's attending to other customers, just like now.
Give me a moment, will ya? I gotta go check on her.
Why does that voice sound familiar? He's some Asian guy, and I'm pretty sure I've seen him here before a couple of times, although I never talks to anyone else except G. The girls used to be all over him too, but he always turned them away.
I'll be here. You go do that before she falls over.
Oh, it's Ash!
All right. What is it?
Bartender G. Okay. Two things. Either they've used that guy's voice for two characters, or this is the detective guy. The one with the pregnant wife that kicked up a fuss at Hannah and what's his name's party, Luke's party, that she's pregnant with Luke's baby. Or they could use the same voice for two characters. Let's just leave it at that. Benefit of the doubt, okay?
Do you need someone to help you get home?
I still can't get over that voice. I'm just keep thinking of the detective.
Bartender, pour the wine.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that's enough alcohol for you, little missy. I'm cutting you off.
A whine comes from the back of my throat as he pulls my bottle away. I have no hope of getting them back once they're behind the counter. Even in my drunken mind, I don't dare hop over it for them, because what little sense I have left knows I'd sooner take a floor dive than succeed in wresting a bottle from a sober man. But that doesn't stop me from trying to reach out with my arms like a stupid idiot anyway. He smiles and shakes his head just like I know he would, before going back to the other guy.
Right now, where were we? How you holding up, boy?
With no drink and no one to really chat with, I would have gone home or gone to sleep on the bar right there and then. But I'm not ready to stand up and try to trek back home just yet.
Same old. I'm still on the Luxborn firm case.
Those blokes they talk about being in dark suits, whisking people into the night or some shit and all that. Didn't the media call it some ridiculous name in the morning news?
What is it this time? Wait, don't answer that. They've called it a lot of things. As long as people don't start running around claiming they're the Illuminati. So, what have you got for me this time, G? Anything good?
Slow down there. You haven't even told me what sort of dealing dosh we got.
So him and the bartender are in cahoots about information on the street. Okay, I get that.
Who are you looking into this time?
Their talk would have interested me, would have kept my attention if I gave a damn. But in my current state, I can barely give two about the things. The swearing in this game is legit, man. All these words are just buzzing, barely surfacing from the sea of sounds that is the pub. And it would have stayed that way, perhaps even drowned, if didn't hear his voice.
Luke Wright. You know the guy.
Yeah! Let's get in it, man.
And don't pretend like you don't, G. It takes a special kind of ignorant not to know who he is.
That smug blonde who likes throwing round his money. He was just here a few days ago, as a matter of fact. Great tipper, if you think him just dumping a wad of cash on the counter after having too much whiskey counts as tipping.
That is information enough for me to gauge that this voice is used for two different characters. Okay, glad we got that established.
Why are you asking? He dirty?
You have no idea, G. He's probably the worst sort you can imagine.
Luke, what have you been doing, man? Luke Wright. Listen, let me skip over. Let me skip over again. There it is again. Oh my word. Okay. Right. Okay.
Is this smart talk about Luke fucking Wright I'm hearing, eh?
Wow. Okay. So she's the type of person that just says it whenever, whatever, as she pleases.
Private conversation here, lady.
Ooh, Ash is like that. He's like the whip. He's like that. You know, the crack of the whip, man. There's only amusement on G's face. The Asian guy, he starts to look ticked off as hell.
Don't worry, Holmes. She's clean. And she might be able to help you with your... predicament.
Course. A drunk's just stumbled through here with what I need. Get real, G. No offense, lady, but you're smashed.
I know, right? Nothing beats being drunk after a hard day's work.
I hear that. I hear that.
Especially when you're working for Mr. Luke Wright.
So, she works for the guy? Doesn't that make her, I don't know, suspect?
See, have a little faith in me, why don't ya? I don't have much, and you might as well have something to go off. You're the one who was so desperate to come running to me for business.
Yoo-hoo! Still right here, fellas! 5 feet 11, can't miss me. Unlike Shorty over here.
Oh, okay.
What's with that mad look? You want to dance, boy? You don't look like you can bust a groove.
She got a mouth on her, man. I tell you, jeez.
Maybe a leg. What with that fancy coat of yours?
Shit, Marianne! Jesus! Why you just pull the reins on it? She got no censor, this one. To add insult to injury, I move directly behind him and use the top of his head as an armrest. When he shakes me off, I plop into the seat right next to him.
Don't try me. You can hardly stay on your feet. We don't want to ruin your fancy coat, do we?
Ah, children, the both of you. But you're still standing after all that, are you? Man, you see this giantess? She's a legendary regular here. Been drinking like there's no tomorrow. I'm a bit jealous. Can't do that anymore or my liver will give out on me. Good with the mic, too. Don't see you much recently, but I guess you're always busy, are you? You're some fancy designer or something, if I remember correctly.
Wait, I know you. You were at the open house for the mansion.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it, Ash. Your memory doesn't fail you.
Yeah, that's right. Marianne McCulloch. I'm a famous interior designer extraordinaire. Ooh, that rhymes.
Where does that Oh my god, I'm gonna cry, yo. That got me.
Anyway, you guys were talking about that weenie Luke Wright, right?
Or
Right,
something.
right.
Can't really talk about it. I don't even know if I can trust you, even if G said you're clean. But anything would be of help.
Well, I don't gossip about my clients, if that's all there is to this.
You wanted to gossip about him a few minutes ago, Marianne.
And that was the beer talking, not Marianne.
Damn, she really smashed.
You won't mind if we ask the beer a few questions then?
Maybe. Depends on who's asking and what they're asking. But seriously, that guy is abso-fucking-lutely frustrating.
She had to add the emphasis on that lootly faction.
One moment, he's an absolute dickhead. And then he's acting like an actual decent human being the next. I just can't figure him out. I can't imagine how that pretty wife of his can put up with him. If I were her, I'd dump his flat arse straight up.
No censor, man. And I'm not just saying that because I think Hannah's pretty or anything. Luke is a catch too, they both are. But I really cannot for the life of all things holy see how they even work out together.
So, Luke Wright, have you noticed anything strange about him while you were working with him? Anything peculiar? Of note?
You're the one being peachy right about now, Holmes. But nah, nothing that comes to mind off the top of my head. He's just like most rich, smarmy arseholes and then some.
Pulling out some fancy words over there. The giggle bubbles up and I press my cheek against the cool countertop with my eyes shut tight just because. Eventually cracking one eye open, just in case they thought I fell asleep.
So, Holmes, I'm guessing you're some private detective or something.
Something.
Is it Hannah? Did she pay you to look if he's been cheating or some such?
Hannah's the wife, right? What about her? How's she?
How is she or how is she? Well and good.
Okay.
Definitely the nicer of the two and sexiest sin to boot.
Right.
Not a private detective then. Are you from one of them tabloids wanting to know if the Luke Wright doesn't know how to put his pants on right? Pants. I'd take the pants off of...
Here we go. Slipping. I haven't been this drunk in such a long time. It's a miracle I've been coherent for as long as I've been right now.
I'm asking you if you've noticed any odd behavior from her.
Odd behave... You what? I wonder how she'd be drunk. I can just imagine her like the giggly sort. What do you think?
These are serious questions, Marianne. Lives might just be at stake here.
Have you not noticed she's drunk as hell? Okay? Even I would stop questioning her at this point because there's no use in it.
What do you expect? She's smashed.
Exactly what he just said.
Why am I even doing this? This is getting me nowhere, G. She's not a reliable source. The chief, let alone the courts, aren't going to take the word of a drunk. This will be dismissed, and I might be in trouble if they try to argue that I coerced a testimony out of her. This is a fucking train wreck.
You're a fucking train wreck now, if you ask me. Maybe it's about time you apply the brakes and stop for a bit.
The wave of despair that comes over the both of them is palpable. If feelings had a taste, it'd be bitterer than the beer I'm full of. And it gets me thinking, though thinking doesn't get me far with too much shite in my system.
You know that's not an option. Thanks for being patient, McCullough. Good luck with your work on that mansion.
Speaking of that mansion, there's something going on in that place. Something. As ocht day! No wonder Mr. Right likes it so much. It's as fishy as he is. Rotten bloke. Maybe that Santos girl is really onto something, eh? Suspicious shite, I'm telling you. Explains why she's so reluctant.
What do you mean that Santos girl is onto something?
Before I get another word out, there's hands on my shoulders and everything starts to spin. I quickly slap his hands away the best I can and send him the foulest look I can muster.
Take your hands off me, pipsqueak. I'm not a lady who's shaken or stirred unless you want me upchucking on your pretty hair.
Shit.
But it's just like I said. Are you sure you aren't brain damaged or deaf? Santos girl from BRC showed us this creepy letter. You know, just like those spam stuff you get in your emails. And we thought it was some joke or that the girl was just a bit too green to handle a big sale like that. You should have seen the look on their faces when they saw it. Whiskey? That's Luke fucking right, you get me? And the missus didn't look too happy either. I should have taken a picture and posted it everywhere.
No, don't do that.
When rich snobs give you that face, no wonder the Santos girl went all mental on us. Working with them does that, you know? I think I'm about to. I'm not mental yet, am I?
I don't know, Marianne. You know.
Anyway, just like I said, in that man... Hey, you okay? Holmes? You're looking a bit shaky yourself there.
And he really is pale. Paler than before, at least. I can see the gears turning in his head on overtime. Suddenly he shoves a card in my hand. On it his name Ashton Frey and his number. But he has second thoughts as he grabs it from me and slips it into my pocket.
You're cute, pretty boy. But I prefer blondies.
Well, you're not exactly my type either, lady. But listen to me. If something comes up, don't do anything rash. If you think you're in danger or if you see anything suspicious, call me and the authorities as soon as possible. You understand me? That's 99...
I know what the damn emergency number is.
Right, 999. Good. Anyway, I have to run. See you, G.
The guy's quick on his feet, already up and at him as soon as the numbers leave his lips. Watching him as he maneuvers through the crowd of other pub goers is enough to tire me out. Fast as he can, he's at the door and throws us a smile, and that's all we get before he's gone, just like that.
Oi, what about your drink, boy? I'll go put it on your tab then.
Holmes boy always like that, G?
Pretty much. But what about you? I suppose I'll put your drinks on your tab too. Don't want you to spill your wallets when you look like you're close to spilling yourself.
Yeah, and if it's fine by you, I think I'll go take a bit of a cat nap here. Just for a sec or two.
Go right ahead. I'll wake you when I close up shop.
Wow, that's a nice bartender right there. Achievement unlocked, swimming in cocktail. Mumbling a sleepy thanks, I doze off on the spot, face pressed on the counter. Already I dread the pain I'll have for sleeping in such a position. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. Oh, Jesus. Again with this.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie?
Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite. Unless you ask, that is.
Not that I can get my sleep to begin with.
I've certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Though moments like these make all the hard work worth it, definitely.
Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
We're only about halfway done, but the honest satisfaction on a client's face is enough for me to push through. Let's face it, in between my exasperation at Mr. Wright's antics and her, I've been burning the candles at both ends. I can't even close my eyes without seeing a dead girl's face. Dead girl. Dead. She's dead. I have to keep reminding myself that, burying my feelings as deep as they've buried her body. 6 feet under. I shouldn't waste so much time on someone who's supposed to be gone. I've wasted so many years thinking about her already. There should be no need to bother myself with the dead when I should be bothering myself with the living. Too bad the living are usually as complicated, if not more, than ghosts of the past.
But don't you have a party?
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
This is before the party, guys. It's even more complicated when the living in question is a pair of rich and famous socialites way past their honeymoon phase. And I've been somehow roped into being a relationship counselor.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband.
See, we've done this before.
But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Suppose it is.
Then, but if the troubled husband with the neglectful... maybe he should try being independent.
We've done
Everyone's
this
supposed
before.
to be there. We shouldn't let our
We've definitely done this before. We give her that...
I really should handle what's left of the work.
Yeah, we give her the advice and then we leave.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I shouldn't.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Maybe it's about time I changed that.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive.
I hear that.
Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Though I shouldn't dwell on the dead, I shouldn't just callously forget about them too. Saying that I have work left to do is an easy enough excuse to make. I know how other people see me. They see someone so obsessed with her craft that she would so easily miss things like a party for it. Outside the parlor, people hurry about here and there, in preparation for the Wright's grand housewarming party. None spare me a glance as I slip past them, each working on their appointed roles. I make it into the kitchen with ease, the wine cellar being my final destination. But when is a great task ever simple? Probably never. And this is a great task, isn't it? My greatest one yet that is worthy of being called a quest. I'm not aching as Marianne McCulloch, the professional interior designer, when I chose to lie about being too busy for a party. I'm Marianne McCulloch, a lawful, neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma. Just thinking of it like that makes it a bit cheesy, but it helps with the fear. It helps overcome the insane thought that I'm actively seeking out something that has been plaguing me for years. I might face my worst nightmare, or I might see nothing and find myself imagined grand quest fall flat.
Schnell! Hurry up, you snails! We are on a deadline and you are wasting my time! What are you doing here, Fraulein? This is not the place for guests or in an architect right now. I request you leave.
I was just looking around for any last-minute things, yes?
Yes, you have been doing that a lot. Looking around, snooping about. Now is not the time for such things. If you're not careful, people might think you are up to something.
Like yourself. The look he gives me as he says this is almost chilling. If life was a game book, he'd probably be the true neutral warlock guarding the treasure room. A difficult opponent to beat with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in dexterity.
Well, I'm not done yet. I actually need to go into the wine cellar. Just need a quick go at the
Go outside, enjoy the party. Bask in the praise and adulation they will no doubt shower you with when the madam speaks highly of you.
I want that wine, buddy!
Surely you've had enough of this stuffy old kitchen by now. You do not want to cause trouble. Both the Bratwurst and Hannah want this to be perfect. It would be a disservice and a disrespect to toe out of line and risk it being anything otherwise. And more importantly, I will be blamed for any failure that happens tonight.
His intervention almost turns me away. Maybe this is a sign I'm not meant to seek Lorraine out, but...
Please, it's really important.
15 minutes. 9. 10 minutes. Any longer and I'll pull you out of there myself.
Right.
The Bratwurst will be furious if he thinks anyone is touching his precious wine without his permission.
Thank you. This seriously means a lot.
He steps aside begrudgingly. At this point, it looks like there's no turning back. No! Mary Ann, why? Why? Why are you going and searching for this? Guys, I fear this might be the end. I really... Not the end of the game, because we still have to go through Ash. Because I feel like he's onto something, but I feel like Mary Ann is delving deep into something that she cannot turn back from. Let's do it. The cellar greets me ominously as I descend. The space feels smaller with a lot more bottles lining the wall compared to before, and knowing what might be waiting for me here makes things worse. The mirror that had been moved from the study is my goal. I did not return to it after my initial discovery, but the thought of Lorraine, how much I want to see her again, even if it's just for one more time, keeps coming back to mind. As I walk through the cellar, I have to stop when I feel something crunch beneath my feet. Whatever few bottles were left behind here are now nothing but glass under my heels. Perhaps dropped by one of the many chefs and bartenders the butler had escorted through here before. And it made a downright mess with red slick pooling from the remnants of a good drink. With how dark this place is, a person with a dark enough imagination can easily mistake it for blood. I can't help but think it is, despite the easy, logical explanation that had come to my mind only because of what I'm about to do. It's merely a momentary distraction as I continue to the end of the cellar where the mirror stands. Guys, jeez, I'm not ready for this. As many times as I think I'm ready for this, I'm never ready for this. Propped up on the far wall, it gleams innocently while pretending to be a simple and ordinary mirror. How morbid to think this thing can show a person their deepest, most desperate desires, and then twist it to an image so dark. It's not, it's the ghost, Mary Ann. That's what I had seen that day. Though I heard Lorraine many times, I had only seen her here within its frame. I wonder if people have discovered it before. How many were wasted away in front of it, enamored, and how many were frightened away by what they saw. Yet as I stand before it now, nothing. I can barely see my own reflection in this darkness.
How does this even work? Mirror, mirror on the wall? Something? Anything?
Nothing. Touching its surface doesn't make it magically activate or anything like that. There's no sudden surge of power and I'm not suddenly granted sight. It stays what it is. A mirror. Was Lorraine's appearance in the mirror all some sort of fever dream? Am I really that burdened with guilt and despair that my mind would eat itself in my stress and have me hallucinate such things? Either way, just going here on some crazed obsession for a girl long gone must warrant me a trip to a doctor. Already I feel ill. After a few more minutes, in the hopes that something would change, I turn around to leave. I can just go back upstairs like nothing ever happened, perhaps drop by the party for some hors d'oeuvre, then go home and collect myself. Besides, Mrs. Rydick's expecting me and I'm...
Going to leave me again then, are you?
I knew it. I stop in my tracks, but I don't turn back. As much as it pains me, I don't look back. If I'm just hearing her again, desperately delusional, and I look back to see nothing, I don't want to give myself false hope. But when I feel fingers around my wrist pull at me, I look back in shock. My first thought is, how in God's name is this possible? And the second is, Lorraine. Her hands are cold.
Are you that mad at me that you're just going to ignore me, Marianne?
No, I don't know what to say, and I can only stare at her in wonder. She stands there in the mirror with only her arm extended outward for my sake. I look at the hand still holding my wrist, and when she sees me looking at her, she moves it so that our hands are entwined, fingers weave together. Seeing her there and feeling her touch meant I'm not crazy, though however impossible and unexplainable, this is all to me right now. It just takes my breath away. Pulling her out from there is tempting. I can imagine doing so with ease. We can be together again. Lorraine and Marianne, like nothing had ever happened. It's not gonna happen! But that would be all a great big lie, wouldn't it?
What? Cat got your tongue? Don't just look at me like that. Say something.
Even if this thing were some magic portal that could bring back the dead, that doesn't erase anything. Just looking at her, still a young teenager, while I'm already a grown woman, it serves no other reason than to break the illusion that blinds me. I've seen her twice now, always behind the mirror. If this is real, if this isn't some delusion, then why can she only exist behind the glass?
You have no idea how happy I am to see you. It's been so long.
You don't look happy.
I really am happy, but at the same time, I can't help but think about what happened to you.
And what does that mean? What are you saying?
She gives me this peculiar look, and before my eyes she moves to step out of the mirror. In turn, I wrench my hand from her and take a step back, almost as if I'm afraid.
I don't know how this is possible, but whatever this is, it isn't real. You can't be real.
I'm right here, aren't I? What other proof do you need?
No, I see you. I hear you. I feel you. But even with all that, you can't be real. You just can't. I saw your body. I helped bury you. You're dead.
A deep hurt crosses her face, and it just breaks my heart in two, seeing her wear that expression.
Burying me wasn't the only thing you did. Don't you dare lie.
Huh?
But I'm going to be the bigger woman, aren't I? Let bygones be bygones. I'll forgive you, as long as you stay with me, Marianne.
Huh?
That's why you came down here, right? To find me?
Yeah, that's why she came. That was the plan. I came down here looking for her. For closure. But this isn't just closure. This is something else entirely. This is freaky, man. I didn't think I would be forced to make such a choice. I need to move on. I want to stay. If I stay with her, what does that mean? We're going to jump in the mirror together and go to Wonderland or something? I need to move on. She's dead. Jeez. I don't know. She's dead. What? Okay, let's just look at the logistics over here, okay? Marianne, great woman, okay? She's successful. She's a famous interior designer. She's almost done with the house, and she can't fuck it up. She can't fuck that up now, and she can't mess that up now, you know. But then again, she is not happy. So, and she keeps doing this interior designing for this house. She's gonna keep coming and looking for Lorraine. Happiness over success. Actually, life over happiness. Right? I need to move on. I want to stay. I feel like the right thing to do is I need to move on. You know? Right? That's the only logical choice, right? Emotional choice would be I want to stay. But the only logical choice is to move on. You know what, guys? Jump scares or not, I'm just going to say I need to move on. Lorraine, please. And that's not even Lorraine. That's the bloody ghost. I need to move on. Closure. That's all I came here for. Whatever this is, it might as well all be just a devil's trick. It is. And I might as well make some use of it, right? I say nothing at first, for fear of angering whatever phantom this is. I take Lorraine's hand and bring it up to my lips, pressing a kiss to her knuckles. She takes it as some sort of invitation to pull me along, to step back into the mirror until only her arm is extended again.
I should have been more honest back then, both to you and myself. I know it's too late. I'm sorry. But
the thought of being with the dead did not agree with me, not one bit.
I can't stay with you.
So what? You're going to leave me for some old trophy wife? That's it, isn't it? You're going to leave poor Amy Lorraine and go after the next rich, pretty blonde that you see.
This is a mistake.
All these years, guilt has been my driving force. I felt so guilty for what I did, what I didn't do.
She thinks she can guilt me into being complacent, but she realizes otherwise as I pull my hand from her. And going by the look of anger on her face, an anger that runs cold, she did not like the fact that I'm not some puppet on a string. Had she chosen her words carefully, I would have accepted whatever punishment Lorraine chooses to give me. Guilt had ran my life, might have very well ended it, because I deserved it.
But what I did to me. The blood in my hands is mine, not yours.
Damn right, Marianne. So to tell the truth, whoever or whatever the shadow is, my gut tells me she's not Lorraine. She isn't! It's the ghost! Yet I keep talking as if she is.
I broke your heart, not your neck.
Don't you dare deny it! It was your fault!
Because I loved you more than I dared to admit? Yes, that was my fault, but I never meant to hurt you like that.
Despite my words, no matter how sincere they are, she appears angry, enraged in fact. It's been years since I last saw that face, and even now the memory of it is still etched deeply in my mind. The hurt, the tears, and the hate spilling from her eyes that day, the moment I rejected her. Rejected myself for who I am. And she definitely will hate what I am about to do next. To my left, a wine rack. And from there I take a bottle and pray to all the saints I can remember, for all my sins, for every hurtful words I've uttered, for what I have driven her to do that day, what I forced her into.
What are you doing?
Yes, what is she doing? I do it without thinking twice. Quickly, before I can hesitate, I grab a bottle and send it straight towards the mirror. Shards of the bottle in the mirror are sent flying everywhere as Lorraine's screams echo in the cellar. Bitter, searing, like every wounding accusation she hurled at me. They've never left me. I doubt they ever will. But with this I can move away from them, from her, live my life as I should, free from the burden. Her burden. Because the Lorraine I know, the real one, the person I loved, will never want me carrying this to my death. As the screaming dies down, I can't help but mutter weakly.
It's done. It's done. Oh, Lorraine. Forgive me, Lorraine.
I take some time to compose myself. Breathing in and out, stamping down on the tremors still raking my hands, straightening out my jacket and fixing my hair, all a weak attempt at returning myself to someone resembling my normal self. This would probably be easier to do so with a mirror, but I likely won't be able to stand looking at one for a long time.
Well now, I should probably go back up there. Party to attend, rich socialites to do business with, and food to eat. Mrs. Wright will be happy if I make some time for it anyway.
Yet one last time to the shattered glass beneath my feet.
I'm sorry, Lorraine. May you see God's light on the path.
Turning around to leave, and for good this time, the uneasy smile on my face falls as I see Lorraine whole and
Come
well.
on, Mac. You really didn't think it would be that easy, did you? You get bonus points for trying, but you should know innate charisma is not enough to turn undead.
She advances towards me, backs me against the wall. I can't even reach for another wine bottle without putting myself within her reach. Despite my earlier bravado, I didn't think she were able to exist at all without the mirror. Can you blame me though? It's not like I'm an expert on the supernatural. Because she's the ghost! She's haunting this whole bloody mansion, man!
That's not... You shouldn't be...
What? After the mirror? Did you think just moving on will erase what you did to me? You're nothing but a murderer, Marianne. A murderer!
Stay back. You're not real. Leave me alone. Stop! I'm trying to move on with my life, so why won't you let me? Please! Just get out of my head and leave me be!
I try to find an exit when there's a click. The next thing I know, I'm falling back into darkness. Where the hell am I now? What is this place? Guys, where are we? I fall on my back and a door slams shut behind me. In a daze, I look around warily and find myself in another room entirely. On the other side of the wall, some sort of secret passage perhaps, an underground tunnel that has me wary and frightened. It also proves that the oddities in the mansion's floor plans are a lot more than just little discrepancies. I expect Lorraine to jump out at me from the darkness at any time. A breeze blowing through the tunnel has me relieved, though, at the idea that there is still a way to escape should that happen. That is way better than being trapped underground with only God knows what that was. A funny thought comes to mind as I start walking to where the exit might be. I think about how Mrs. Wright would be so disappointed if I didn't show up to the party. Imagine how furious Mr. Wright would be for breaking one of his wine glasses. Even Johan's reaction comes to mind, though I don't really know with that guy. One thing's for sure, is that I would be calling Cam and Haruna for a drink as soon as I get out of here. That noise has me wary. A ghastly thing, a corpse of a woman, leans on the wall. Oh my god, it's the ghost, she's revealing herself. Her arms and limbs, almost every inch of her lithe body, is peppered with wounds and rotting flesh. And it is then that the putrid smell of blood and gore hits me, making it so that I don't even question how I missed it in the first place.
How long has this been here? Oh, that smell. Oh, you're a nasty one, aren't you?
I flinch as the thing twitches. Jesus. And as soon as it opens its eyes and looks at me with a smile, there's nothing on my mind but horror. I break into a run. I try to keep on running no matter how much my legs and feet scream at me to stop. I keep going even when I look back and see nothing of her anymore, because I can still hear her. The scampering of her feet, the words she tries to form with her bloodied mouth, and the painful sounds of bones grinding against each other as she moves closer and closer to me.
How long are these damn tunnels?
There's a split second where I know that thing is right behind me, a strange sensation creeping over my limbs when her presence looms over me, and then suddenly I can't even do anything before I'm yanked by the hair and pulled back. Still I struggle up until I'm thrown to the side like some rag doll. I hit the ground on my side, and the musty smell of old hay that reaches me is my only indication that I'm still alive.
Please don't hurt me.
My body hurts and I keep my smile shut tight. My eyes shut tight, afraid of what might happen next.
What's wrong, Marianne? Are you really afraid of little old me?
There's only dread, seeing how she's followed me even here. She looms over me, backs me further in the cell that I was thrown in.
Please. It's so cold. I don't want to be alone, Marianne. Why won't you stay with me? Why would you leave me? Why?
What are you?
You are. What the hell? What is that? What is that in the hay? Lorraine turns and shifts into that thing from before, and with that same gruesome grin it takes a step forward towards the cell. Towards me. I barely scramble to my knees when the door to the cell slams shut, and it just stands there staring. What the hell is that thing? Is that a tape recorder? That can't be a tape recorder. What is that thing? It is a tape recorder. It must be. Shouts for help ring out in the tunnels, but none of them are coming from me. I'm all paralyzed and shocked by what is happening. My throat tightens as being foiled by the image of Lorraine at the thought of being trapped down here. So then, where?
Help me! Help me! Oh, help me! Are you getting all this on camera, Carl?
Huh?
Yeah, but are you guys sure this is a good idea? We're breaking and entering here. Don't worry, the owners of this place haven't been here in a long time.
Are these kids in the mansion?
Look at this thing, though. It has writing in blood like some cheesy 80s horror prop. Wait, I have an idea. Oh man, that's genius!
What kind of butthead would even take this thing seriously?
Are they...
Maybe we can stick this in Rowan's backpack. That's where his kid would panic.
Are they painting the words on the letter? Oh shit.
Behind you!
Shit. There, in the corner of the cell, a digital camera comes flickering to life, and a video is played back on the screen. It was hard to even consider paying any attention to when my life is on the line, but when the ghost doesn't move and the teenagers' mocking shouts of "help me" filled the cell, I just had to watch. And what I had seen, students judging by their St. Goretti uniforms. They were holding that letter. And that thing, the woman, she... What? Are you kidding me? Is that the end of Marianne? Or Marianne's story? She's just stuck down there. I can't believe this. And we got so close, man. What was that underground tunnel shit? Like Dungeons and Dragons or something. No, dude, I can't. Alright, you guys. I think I'm going to leave the episode there. If you liked it and enjoyed it, don't hesitate to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content. And leave me some suggestions as well. I always love reading your guys' comments. Really, it's heartwarming. It's great. We are over 400 subscribers. We're halfway to 500, guys. I just cannot believe it. It's just so amazing. And this, I cannot believe, ended like that. This whole story has just taken turns after turns after turns. I just don't know what her story is anymore. I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm just baffled right now. Like, I'm really, really interested to see and know what this end story is going to... I really want to know, and I really hope at the end you find out what happened to her and why she haunts these people so badly. I mean, if she wants help, I mean, that's what Zach was trying to do. And I don't even know if he's still alive. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys next time. Until then, have an awesome day or night in the gaming world.